Hey, it's me. Let me get my dogs to be quiet. Quiet! There's nothing here. I'm just talking. Go on. We shall see how quiet they will remain. For those of you who don't know me, I thought we'd come on a couple minutes early to give everyone an opportunity, including Kim, to get on here live with me. And it is, we'll see, right? We'll see if we're able to connect or not. Facebook acts really wonky sometimes. And so it's important to just kind of go with the flow. Sometimes I can download a live video, sometimes I can't. It just depends on what algorithm is going on with Facebook. I don't really run it. For those of you who don't know, my name is Shannon Miller, and I am a cleaning business owner here in the great state of Arizona and have been so for over a decade. I also am CEO of Clean Freaks University, where I teach others how to run the back end of their business instead of being run over by their business. And today, Kim and I are going to come here live to talk to you about the big R. So I'm going to message her to tell her that I got on a little bit early. I haven't heard from her at all, so it just might be me. And let's see if she pops on or not. For those of you who don't know, we have a little bit of housekeeping we can discuss while we're waiting for Kim to show up, because I am early. I'm looking for an STR, short-term rental, or a second home up here in Prescott. So if you know of anybody who has one, I have made contact with several people. It's I had one person ask me if I was filming any porn, and I was like, no. It's just, people are just in a weird spot. So if you know of anybody who has a second home up here in northern Arizona and is willing to loan us their home for the day, it would be roughly from 9 to 5, an 8-hour shift, Saturday and Sunday, so that we can hold our retreat/training in October. Send them my way. I'm more than willing to discuss with them what the budgeting is for that, and we can carry event insurance. So I am still looking, definitely. And then as soon as we get that all squared away, we can give you guys a price, and then we can start selling tickets, and then we can go to hotels and see if they'll give us a discounted rate and those types of things. In addition to that, I had 8 people ask me all about, hi, I don't know who's there, all about the Structure, Scale, and Profit Cleaning Business Academy. I am offering one in between, only because 8 people had asked. Normally, I would just make everyone wait until September. But if that is something that you are really genuinely interested in, please private message me. I'll get you all the paperwork over, and you can decide whether you can fit that in your budget. There is a price for pay for it all at once, and then I do have a payment plan for those of you who need it. And it's 10 weeks on Zoom with me in a group environment. As far as I know, I don't think that there is anyone in my industry. Hi, perfect. Them on video. Kim, I'm going to try to bring you on. Hopefully it will work. Yay! Oh my God, we did it the first time.
It's a first in how long?
I can't hear you though, so hopefully the audio will kick in a minute.
Okay, let me know. Nothing? Let's see, the needs network.
Okay, perfect. So it seems to be going now. So if you are interested in the Structure, Scale, and Profit Cleaning Business Academy in the in-between class, I'm going to keep it at the current rate because we all know that in September it does go up in price. So if that's something that you want to do to fix your business, or you want to scale and grow and you can't quite figure it out because you've watched 50 YouTube videos and everybody has their own aspect and element of how they do it, just private message me. As far as we had an interesting request this morning, which I deleted. So if you are a member, please do not post any animal posting for sale or for free. In Facebook, it's actually against the community standards, and they will take the group down. There's 4,000 of us in here, and I think that there would be some upset individuals who couldn't. Then we'd have to start from scratch if they allowed it. So, and it takes quite a bit of monetary funds and effort to grow a group. For those of you who are not in knowledge of that information, we can go ahead and start. Kim, I don't have any of my notes from when we spoke.
So, you know what? I spaced. I think I was supposed to message them to you, and I like had my ADHD moment. That in between teenagers, I think I got distracted. You may take a picture of them really quick and send them to you.
Yeah, if you don't mind, and that way we can settle everyone's minds over recessions. Recessions happen roughly every 10 years or so. I'm not an economist. I'm not an expert. I just lived long enough to kind of know the ebbs and flows. And being comfortable pivoting in your business is super important. Hi, Chanel. How are you? I'm so glad you were able to resolve your real estate situation. So that was good news to hear that you finally were able to strong arm them, and hopefully they delivered the money as promised. And that now you're settling in and moving on, because that was really stressful and traumatic, I can imagine. Oh, I can hear my kids arguing, so hopefully it will remain quiet, but we'll see. Okay. Kim, do you have any announcements you'd like to make? Uh-oh, I think we lost you. Oh, okay, back. I don't see you. Approve. Okay, it seems to be easier this time, but then it bumped you off, so I don't really. Okay, perfect.
There we go. I went to go take a picture, and it like exited out of you. So.
Hey, at least we're on here together.
Yes, exactly.
It's the last couple times have been really challenging, so hopefully it will allow us to continue on together. So for those of you who have been in business for a while, you know that there are certain times in the evolution of your business that you were required to pivot. I did not understand what pivoting was until about, I want to say 2015. I don't remember what happened in 2015. I think it was right before the next election cycle, and people were starting to freak out a little bit about what was happening in the economy and how it was going to affect their business. And I was like, oh, I should probably get ready to have a plan. So this morning's coffee talk is all about having a plan, being prepared, and confidently stepping forward in the right direction. If you don't pivot, like for example, I spoke to someone who hasn't ever given a price increase, and she should have already given 2 this year. So if you have not given at least 2 price increases this year, and we're probably going to have to do a 3rd before the 4th quarter hits, please hit me up. I'm more than happy to walk you through what that entails, and we can kind of go from there. Kim, what do you have that you would like to announce and say and all that stuff?
Well, my name's Kimberly, and I have owned a cleaning company since 2016. It's a natural cleaning company, and during that time, I actually invented a natural cleaner called Pure Evergreen, and that's a little bit about me. I do have an announcement. I have to raise up my rates as well, but I literally probably spent close, and we all know in business, I probably spent close to $5,000 this month just on refilling everything. Everything has gone up. So just like your cleaning companies, you guys have to raise your prices, but I only raised it $1.55. So it's $51.55. I like that. I like numbers. But it's officially gone up today. But it still does amazing things. And I have new labels. So I'm excited because now when people want to order, all I need to do is scan the label. And I wish I had a bottle. I'm going to a farmer's market later today, so I kind of packed everything away. But the bottles are gorgeous. I added more stuff to them. So
awesome. Did you get the QR code on there? I know that you were discussing that.
That, and I got my tagline on it, so it's officially trademarked now, so nobody else can take it. So I'm excited.
Very cool. Now, with your business, And I know that you went through the last recession. What steps did you take to kind of help facilitate smooth riding with your business and not enter the freak out zone?
I think like one of my biggest things that I did was market. Marketing was probably the biggest thing. A lot of people freak out because they're like, do I market? Do I not market? Everybody wants to save money. But during the recession times or even the beginning of a recession, you should be everywhere. Every single place you should be. It goes back to branding. So you should be branding your business. You should be branding your logo, everything, because you want people to see that everywhere. So that's one thing I did was I marketed even more. So all these people, which is kind of, if you think about it, Shannon, you know, like all these people are backing away and they're not marketing. So people aren't going to know about their business. So, but if you're out there like marketing like crazy, people are going to see you and you're going to stand out.
Top of mind is really important. Remaining top of mind. People only want to do business with people who they like, know, and trust. So if you've already established or reached out and did your first touch of a relationship, and it takes a while to build relationships. I know a lot of times I get asked, and Kim, I'm sure you do too, about how to market for commercial cleaning, but they haven't done the footwork. There is footwork involved in acquiring large contracts for commercial. It just is. It's all about who you know. It's like going to the bank and getting a loan, and because they know you and they've done several transactions with you, you have more of a probability than someone who's fresh off the boat who hasn't had a chance to establish themselves or make a name. It's all about who you know, and it really does come down to that. And that's a lot of doing in-person events. I know that it's uncomfortable for some people to, do an in-person event. I've given the example of the red marketing bucket, which we're going to go buy some more of them today. And having your logo on the bucket, having a feather dust attached to it, because if you don't attach your feather duster, you'll lose it. And it's an easy way to have people come up to you because they'll tease you and say, hey, are you here to clean? You'll say, yeah, I'm here to clean. And it just gives you a nice icebreaker to be able to establish a relationship with someone who actually might listen to you. Sometimes when you go to events, they're just there to drink and eat. And I totally get that too.
And they walk by. You got to draw something that's going to draw their attention. Have a story, because when you do have a story or you engage with them, then it draws people in. I know a lot of times for my events, like when people are walking by and they just see a cleaning product, they're like, I'm not going to stop for a cleaning product. But I always say, wow, I love your skirt. Oh my gosh. Or sometimes if I'm allowed to, I'll bring Gunner with me. Gunner is great for marketing, because everybody wants to come up and pet a golden retriever. So, but yeah, like you said, get a bucket, be creative with your marketing, think outside the box. What's going to draw people in? What's going to separate you from other cleaning companies?
And you've also had some really hot days in Colorado. So you have the misters, which is nice.
Oh my gosh, it seriously has been so hot. Today I think it's supposed to get to 100 and I'm supposed to be outside. And I have a sundress on and I'm just like, I'm dying. I'm in my house right now and I'm literally sweating. But yeah, like one of the things you guys I would consider as an investment is get a bucket. Like she said, you can even get a bucket and brand your bucket and then put water in it. And Home Depot, I know Home Depot has them, but it's Ryobi and it comes with a battery and it's a mister. And I will tell you, I was at an event. When was this, Shannon? Like a month ago?
I think so.
I was at an event a month ago and like nobody showed up. Like there was like hardly any people there that came. And I had my mister system and I was the only vendor out of like 100 vendors that had a mister system. Let me tell you, I walked away making, I think it was like what, $600, $700 that day, because all the vendors came to my booth and they wanted to get cool. And so that was a great marketing, tool to have something that is going to invite people in. Say, hey, do you want to come in and get cooled off? Why don't you bring your kids in here? It's probably hot. Have your kids just wipe their face, cool down. So it's a great marketing tool.
It is. It is a great marketing tool. I'm just watching this one back here do his thing. But it is a great marketing tool, and being the center of information. A lot of times, way back when I did a lot of shows with the jewelry biz, I would also engage, but I was also the source of information. So people would ask me because I had walked around and I knew what was where, and if they were looking for anything, they would usually come back and buy something. So I genuinely believe that works, and it's establishing relationships that you will help build, and they will buy from you again. So that is important as well.
Well, just like you build relationships, and within the group, you get to know people. They learn to trust us and like know us, get to know us. And so that builds the trust. And like you said, I think that's the number one thing that I think is missing is just being able to build relationships. We're so eager to get a sale or to land that job. We're not willing to just build that trust and build that relationship up.
It takes time and effort, and I get it. It's such an instantaneous society right now where I want it, and it does. It takes a little bit of time. It takes some effort, and you can tell. I mean, there is a dream training here with Larry, who I actually had to drop out of the group because I had these guys to drop off at school, and my husband. It just didn't work in our schedule. But he did this dream training, and basically you would go to a network event, and you would actually assign a number like 1 through 4 to decide if that person was going to be a benefit to you to help you get referrals for your business. And it was actually a really interesting technique that I had learned to help things that were viable. So you would actually go out of your network and you would look for one carpet cleaner, and then you would look for a floor refinisher, or you would look for, a builder, or whatever it is that you were looking for to help build your circle of influence, because then those people would help directly, recommend you, right? So there's techniques about it, and I agree with the whole marketing piece. Don't stop marketing, market more, and don't pour a lot of gasoline on it, but continue on, because what will happen is most people are going to drop off.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking too, Shannon, like you said, people are going to drop off, but it comes back to creativity. You have to be creativity. We all get butterflies in our stomachs when we're like wanting to talk to people. Right. I still get butterflies in my stomach when people come to my booth, even though I've been doing this for a long time. And I still get butterflies, but you have to do it because you're the boss. That's your job. You got to go out there and, market and stuff. So.
Oh, definitely. Being your own salesperson, all of the time. You're always on, unfortunately, even when you have bad moments with your children. Yep. You're always on display. And, you just have to be able to take the step and take the effort of listening. A lot of times I have found when I'm at events, their eyes glaze over. They're there, they're present, but they're not listening. They have really no desire to listen about my business or why I'm there. They just were trying to chat it up and figure out, if I was going to fit in their category of what they were looking for. So, definitely there. What other things did we discuss with pivoting, marketing, and then,
how not to get behind, what separates you from other cleaning companies? So like being unique
is good. And then like for me, I was the person who got it done, right? So they had, they would always go with someone cheaper, but then they knew, because they had heard that, oh, Shannon with Castle Keeper Cleaning, she'll get the job done and it will be done perfect. So that building your reputation is really important. If you make a mistake, own it. If you're marketing yourself, own it. It just, don't try to pass the buck on somebody else, own it. Supply an experience that's above what you promised, right? That is super important as well. I think after a while, well, with you, I'm sure this happened as well. It's just, you became the go-to, right? Because you had been around a while. People had heard about you. They checked you out online. You had pretty good reviews, and they wanted to know that you were going to do their job. So branding also comes down to it. We talked a little bit about this. I don't remember who I was talking to. Please don't do that. Sorry.
I know that's okay. I know for when you said separating yourself from others, I know something that I did was really unique was I worked with a lot of upscale clients, and they can care less for a discount. So what I did is if they did a referral, what I did is I took that referral and I said, okay, well, anytime you give me a referral and they sign up and they get their first cleaning, I will donate $50 to this charity.
Right.
And they loved it. And that was huge. That's kind of like what separated me from the other cleaning companies, because they usually did paid referrals. But I wanted to do something to give back in the community. My clients felt like they were being it fulfilled them too and filled their cup. So that was huge. That separated myself. That, and I did a lot of sponsorships for nonprofit events, and that really got my name out.
I think that helps immensely. Whether it's the Little League or, you know, and I didn't like the silent auction donations.
No, I don't do those.
Raffles. The raffles are better because you have more of a chance of earning more money for the organization that you gave it to. When you do a silent auction, I have found, you know, someone gets excited because they buy a $300 cleaning for $5, right? So, you can totally see.
Aww.
He's trying to be quiet as he's messing
So
around.
good.
He's playing with all the camera mounts and the lights. So,
I know.
important.
I know one of the events that I do every year, and I make sure I mark off my calendar. And I was kind of telling you about this because I know we were kind of looking at the event around that time.
Mm-hmm.
But September 10th is coming up, and it's called Alternatives for Violence. And one of the things I love for my business, and I've been donating for years, is it's really cool. It's called Pastels on Fifth. Mm-hmm. And they do these pastel drawings. So you find an artist, and the artist goes out there and volunteers out in that poor heat. And you can rent, you sponsor squares, different sizes. So there's different sponsored ones. So I always try to do like the $300 one. So I save up my money throughout the year because I already know that I'm going to do that one.
Right.
And I love it because then my name's on there and then people can vote. So people can actually go and they walk around. It's packed and they go around and they find the best ones that they like and they can vote for your business.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's really neat. And then I have a booth. So I'm kind of like marketing on that side and then I'm marketing on the booth side. So that's a great way to do it. Like find something that means a lot to you and sponsor them.
Definitely. I like that idea for sure. Any other suggestions for that?
Any unique stuff? I guess that's my big thing is just being able to like give back in the community. Because again, when you give back in the community, you're building up relationships and you're building up trust. And they're seeing that, you know, that you are putting your heart out there. And I think that's what separates you from just spending money on, you know, advertisement, you know, print advertisement. I
totally hear you.
I think it hits a different thing. I think it hits a heartstring when people see that you're giving back to the community and they know that you care.
We have a Finley Toyota here who moved up here from Phoenix. They bought the car dealership. It used to be a different name, and he sponsors a lot of things. But after a while, it becomes like an expectation because he's the big guy in town, right? I think when the smaller people are doing it, it is more heartfelt and it is more sincere. It's not just this obligatory, oh, I have to support the kids with the backpack thing, right? I'm going to let you use the event center for that or whatever charitable event. Like when we had the sheriff who passed away week before last in an active shooter situation. It's just kind of a community thing, and I totally get that. But when it comes from the smaller people like us, I think it has more impact and more value, more perceived value, because we don't have $100,000 budget. Most of us don't anyway, and it's important that you are putting those dollars where your heartstrings are for sure.
Another thing I was thinking about too that I do every year is that you guys can even host an event. So like every year I have these huge 5-foot stockings that were handmade. So we sewed the material and we made these huge stockings. And then I'm the one who's in charge of this event. So I get sponsors and I get people to sponsor. But all that money that comes in to sponsor the stocking, I turn around and I go shopping and I fill up my cart. So what people can do is my name is everywhere and I'm sponsoring it. So people see that I'm creating this event that again is going back to the community and to the homeless and to like, women wanting to start over after they've been in an abuse situation. And these businesses get to be involved with me. So we're building those relationships with those other businesses and we're giving back to the community, collecting socks, like new packages of socks, new packages of underwear, diapers. It's just really such a wonderful event and people get excited about it. But I'm putting my name out there. So try hosting an event if you're good at doing that kind of stuff.
Definitely. If it's in the budget, I definitely recommend it. It is a tax write-off, so that is something to remember. Tracking your marketing leads to see what is working and what is not working is so important. Like especially when you're doing over-the-phone bids, asking them where they heard of you. And even if they don't do business with them, make sure that you're getting their email address. you can market to them later. They might not use you now after they go through, the cheapy cleaner. You're gonna market to them, and you're gonna have, hey, just let you know I have my gift card special going on, or hey, I have a special on top to bottom deluxe cleanings. So tracking your leads to see what is working and what is not working. Branding is all important, and then I know we talked about this, and I really liked this idea, Kim, and I think that you guys should all capitalize on this brilliant idea, was an a la carte list. Now, Kim, can you tell everyone what that is?
So, and I can talk to Shannon and see if that's something that we can offer to you guys, but what I did is I created a little card, and it opens up and it has my logo on the front and my business name and my phone number. And when they open it up, I have an a la carte list. So it has a list of all the extras. So like if they wanted sheets changed, additional sheets changed, then it would have the price in there. An a la carte would be window tracks. So I know a couple clients that they loved having their window tracks vacuumed and wiped down, Another one was, I was trying to think of what I have. There were like some crazy things inside the fridge. So if they want a fridge clean, part of the requirement was that they had to take everything out for me.
Right.
And then I would clean it and take it apart, and then I would organize it for them. But an a la carte list, you think of the most craziest, littlest things that you can add on there, and they're upsells. But what I liked about it is that every time I went into my clients' houses, that little a la carte sheet was on the fridge. So they would walk by it and they would remember, and they'd be like calling me up. Hey, Kimberly, I need to add something to my a la carte list. I'm giving you a 2-week notice. I'd like to add this, this, and this. That was like easy peasy money that was added on. And it was just from having that a la carte list and that branding and that marketing. So like for me, we can think of some things and start a list of all the a la carte things and prices. I was trying to think of some of my other ones with cleaning the top of cabinets and
the baseboards.
I have a bunch. When I get that card, I'll look at it because I had some really weird, strange things that people didn't think of, and I put them on there because I was like, that's extra money, and people don't think about that. And when they see this list, they're like, why didn't I think of that? That's a great idea. And then they want it done.
It's a great idea. And what I like about it the most is refrigerator magnets have a lifespan of 10 years or more, because that's the lifespan of a refrigerator, right? They hardly ever move them. The only people who move them are the weird ones like us, right? Because we're lifting and wiping. So it's a great way for them. It's constant, even subconsciously, they might just blend into the background. But when they remember they need something, they'll be polite about it, and they will ask you, hey, I'd like to have my baseboards done this time. Can you add that onto my cleaning time? So you can arrange your schedule accordingly and move along from there.
But it's easy money. Like it's easy money, and it's kind of like, oh, and then something else I do with the a la carte list, and I we talked about it, but I have my little sheet that I keep track of when I do my clients. And what I'll do is like, okay, I have my a la carte sheet, and I put my a la carte sheet on my website, so that way people can already have it if they're looking. And I say, was there anything from the a la carte sheet that you would like to add for each cleaning? So they'd be like, yeah, I want to add on 3 beds, or I want to add on having the baseboards done every week. So there you go. I've already made more money just for them asking, what else they would like to add on. It was just a simple question. So it's easy money.
Upselling is important. It's all about perceived value. As we kind of progress and bump along until they officially announce it, and we all know it's coming, because we've had 3 quarters in a row, it's just providing extra added value with the a la carte, or making sure that you're nailing your cleanings, or your cleaning techs are nailing the cleanings, doing the follow-up, making sure, hey, I'm just checking in to see how Susan did. I want to make sure that the cleaning was to your satisfaction. And sometimes it's like the most minor thing, like they didn't put the pillow back the right way, and you're like, oh my god, I can't even believe she brought this up. But to them, it's a really big deal. So make sure that you put, here's a photo of the pillows, and this is the way it's supposed to be.
Listen to them, like listening to them. And sometimes I actually took, I went to a training and actually took a training on how to deal with difficult people. And it was a fun class, but I walked away learning how to handle people like that. Oh, okay. Right. Okay, and you said it wasn't, okay, let me just jot this down for you. I'm listening to you, and I'm going to take notes, and we're going to correct this. And it made their day because I just kept it simple. You know, it's, you don't make it personal. That's one thing I've learned. You know,
Right.
it's, you have a business, this is your job. Um, and I know one of the things we're talking about too was like the rates, about keeping your rates up. Those clients are going to be the good quality clients, are going to be the higher paying clients.
Mm-hmm. And the lower end ones will drop off the schedule first. Just make sure that you're marketing so you can fill in the hole. You should always have a wait list, always. And if you're over full, and it's because you're super cheap. So you don't want to be in that spot either, because if the economy shifts, all those people are going to just drop off the schedule and move along, right? And then you'll be without any income. So you want to make sure that you're being proactive with that for sure.
Yep, my clients that I was with and my rates were high, and I was in a different kind of, you know, group because I worked with the higher end clients. They stayed. They were the ones that stayed, and the ones that I did have that were cheap were the first ones that dropped off. So always be prepared and make sure like you take Shannon's class, because obviously you want to keep your prices up and you want to be competitive with your prices, because those are the clients that are going to stay with you.
Definitely. And if, God forbid, we ever have another episode where they shut down the country, there were several clients who we actually had a donation thing going on. So they continued to pay their bill, even though we weren't cleaning them. And we would donate that to first responders to have their homes cleaned. And that ended up being a win-win for the community. And many people liked that. They liked the fact that they were supplying extra help to people that were so important in our community. I mean, they're always important, but they were more important at that point than everybody else because they were dealing with all the cooties, right?
So, exactly. And it turns back because you were marketing in that same
right.
you branding yourself. You separated yourself from other companies.
Right. And nobody else was doing it. They're like, I want to donate. I have people randomly call. I want to donate a cleaning. I heard that you're doing that for first responders and firemen and police officers. Can we get on the schedule? I'm like, sure, no problem. And it was easy. It cost me minimal amount. It was the merchant fee is what I cost. All I had to do is transition everything over. And it was easy. And then, after COVID was over, hopefully it will stay gone forever. I had a couple of them actually stay on as regular clients because they were like, oh, I really liked what you guys did. So that was a nice thing. And it kept my crew busy, which was important because I didn't want to lose any of those guys. I had lots of money invested in that crew. So,
and the merchant fees are a write-off.
They are. The merchant fees are a write-off.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Them, but it's cost of doing business.
Yep. I know another thing that we talked about was like the self-care and how important it is to have self-care in this business.
Definitely. I spoke to someone. It's kind of related, but not all the way. Like both of the kids have left, so I guess I'm not that interesting anymore, right?
They're like, you guys are boring.
Totally. They're just talking. There's nothing exciting going on here. Establishing clear boundaries with your clients can be so crucial to your well-being emotionally and mentally and physically. If you don't establish clear boundaries, you legitimately could have people texting you at 11 p.m. at night wanting a response because you forgot to do this guest shower, when in actuality you did do it. They couldn't tell because it was already clean. You rinsed it and wiped the top off in the faucet. This particular individual, unfortunately, was working 7 days a week and legitimately has been in business for about, I want to say 5 years, and has not hit the $100,000 K mark threshold in any of those years. So this poor individual is working all of these days in a row, burning herself out, trying to make it happen. She has people who are arguing with her over the pay, and these are all large houses. She has like a 5,000, a 6,000, a 7,000. She's charging them like $120. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? So don't let people take advantage of you. There are a lot of things that you can do for self-care. You will hear people say it all the time. I'm really lucky. I live in a forested area. I can just drive in any direction about 3 to 4 miles and I'll hit the forest. Walking in the trees, if it's available to you, even at your local park, is something that you can do for self-care for yourself. My children are taking golfing lessons on Sunday morning, and they have done so for 3 weekends in a row. So on Sunday mornings, I get to mess around. And it's nice because I never get that time, right?
And self-care doesn't have to be expensive. I
No,
think when people think self-care, they're like, oh, I got to go out and spend all this money. No, like, I think we should even create a list, Shannon,
I think
of,
so.
the top, 20, affordable or free things, that's self-care. Like, I love it when, I know it sounds crazy. Like one of the self-care that you were talking about is just having those boundaries set up and saying, this is when I open, this is when I close, and you do not answer that phone.
Right.
I mean, you leave it, and that is self-care right there. Because if you keep going and you're catering to all these people and you're not getting your self-care in, and they're burning you out, like mentally.
Sucking you dry.
Yep. Yep. So like, I know for me, for my self-care is I go out with my chickens. I know that sounds silly, but I like to sit outside when it's not 108 degrees here in Colorado. I like to go outside and just sit in my hammock, and I like to watch my chickens. Another self-care that I like doing.
Creatures.
Yeah, I love them. They're like little dinosaurs. I actually have one chicken that follows me everywhere, and she wants to be picked up. So she stands at my feet, and so I literally just pick her up and I put her on the side of my arm, and she comes with me to go do my chicken chores. And so I'll take her everywhere, and I'll just carry her. And then she's the only chicken that's allowed in my garden because she behaves. She doesn't go and eat all my stuff that she's not supposed to eat, and she just stays by me. So like, self-care can be the littlest things. If you have a dog, go for a walk with your dog.
Yeah.
I know another self-care that's, affordable for me is I'll go out and just go and, get a, an icy or something, like a little icy drink. And I'll just sit at the park sometimes just to clear my brain, or go for a drive. I know it's kind of expensive, but I live in like the country, so I'll just take these country roads just back here, and I'll go for a drive for about 15 minutes just to clear my head.
Yes, definitely. It's important to reconnect with nature, especially now in our society where we're so disconnected. I mean, we're connected. You and I are connected like this, but we're disconnected with everything else. And sometimes it can feel, and I'm not saying everybody does it, that it's every man for themselves. And it really isn't. It's about collaboration and relationships and moving one foot in the other for the benefit of everyone. So you're starting to see more people collaborate and more people come together to kind of help for the greater good instead of every man for themselves. I'm going to do this and I'm screw you. I'm not going to, help you out. When in actuality, you're starting to see more and more people work together on larger projects that never would have happened 5 years ago. It's important to know the other cleaners in your area. It's not,
Yes.
themselves. That way, if you do get a large project, you can say, hey, I have this large project. I'm willing to cut you in this amount. Is that something you're interested in? They can either say yes or no. And then hopefully they do a good job. And if they don't, then the next large project, you just don't do it. We've had these employee situations that are happening that are so exacerbated by everything that's going on. And I feel for the employees because nobody knows how to deal with all of this stuff. There's all of this emotional stuff going on, and there's like this physical, and then we have all of this stuff all over social media with, the election stuff and all the crazy stuff that we just need to focus on building our business. And we can do that if we collaborate together, definitely.
Yep. It's all about being grounded. Like I speak highly on being grounded, and I think that's so important to be grounded. Like grounded, and those of you that don't know what that means, it means just going outside, putting your feet on the ground, and just be grounded and have that moment. And then like what Shannon was saying, like I have a cleaning company up here that's near me, and it's a $3 million cleaning company. Mm-hmm. And I loved it because we made a connection, and we grew a friendship. And she started sending me clients that she couldn't take anymore because she was so booked. And I loved it because it built up my business. So being grounded and like having that self-care, reaching out to other cleaning companies, you can make friends. You don't need to have enemies for cleaning companies.
There's plenty of business for everyone. And I know it seems like there isn't because we see it a lot in the group that, what was it? Dazzling Clean. Is that the one that we were talking about the other day? I saw the post and they're like, it's really hard to compete with that. That eventually will burn itself out, as I stated in my comment, just like Amazon. Amazon tried it 5 years ago, and what they couldn't control was the quality. It was a failed business model. They just wanted a slice of the pie because it's such a large industry, and it's going to continue to grow because we have so many baby boomers who need assistance. And there is legitimately you know, if it takes 400 clients to hit the 7-figure mark, okay? So the maximum you really want to handle is 400. There's 33,000 people in my town alone, okay? So there's enough business for everybody. And I know people forget that.
Yep.
It's like, I can't compete. And there are more people who are seeing that it is a privilege to have a house cleaner, but that the mentality about house cleaning has changed so much. And it still is very challenging because, you know, when you go to sign up for like QuickBooks or any of those, they still don't have our industry. We have to like put it in by hand, but that's changing. So just know that those things are changing, and as long as we collaborate, we can come together and really build a future for everyone. Definitely.
And I like the fact that our cleaning industry has changed, like it is changing, because like you and other people who are very knowledgeable on certain things, we're helping these younger generations or helping these new companies, you know, all the things that we had to go through, and, you know, the crap that we had to go through. It's like, we can save you. Just listen to us. We're trying to help.
Definitely. I've referenced it a couple of times. Like when I first started, there was no Facebook.
Nope.
There was 2 books on the market. One of them I got online, and it was, you know, it was new. It took like 4 weeks to get. I think I still have it somewhere. And the other one I got at the bookstore, and nothing talked about the back end of your business. It just talked about what you would do to clean, right? So it's definitely changed, and it's super important that we all collaborate and be the person that is the bigger person, right? Reach out to them. They might be confrontational to you because they don't want you to. They think they're going to infringe. And there are some really big conglomerates that are doing 5 million or 7 million a year because they're in several states, and that's great too. But they can't have everybody.
No. Nope.
When you're that big, you're just a big machine, and all you do is scoop up. That's what I did, right? I didn't care about, I didn't have time to teach you. I ran around with like the big whale who scoops up all the plankton, right? So it's important that you collaborate, especially in today's environment. And it will help you in the long run, definitely building those relationships.
Yep. I like the fact that, you know, like it's different. Like a lot of people are like, well, why should I pay, you know, to have help? Just like any business or any job, you know, we worked hard. Like it took years, and how much money have we spent? Like we went through trainings upon trainings, and like just the knowledge that we have. And, you know, you pay for knowledge, you pay for expertise, just like you would in any industry.
Right. And I consider us a trade. I know you guys hear me say it all the time. I consider us the 23rd trade. And it does. There is a learning curve. Yes, everyone can clean, but not everyone can do a great job cleaning.
Yep.
Because
And it's about learning the systems.
Right. You just learn to look, right? And then when you go to a public bathroom and you're like, don't look, don't look, don't touch anything, don't look. So, yes, that. And revisiting the self-care, even if you are low budget, spending time out in nature, there are a lot of things that you can do to, if you have a crew and money is tight, you can actually trade for items. I've traded for manis and petties. I've traded for oil changes. I've traded for massages. We had one girl, she had 2 boys who were in karate competition, so we sponsored them, and I traded for it, so it was no money out of pocket right away. There are a lot of items to go around that you can do. There's actually trade associations that you can participate in. It is a membership based. I don't remember what the price is.
I don't remember either. I heard about it.
Yeah, we just got one up here, and it took 10 years, right? Because they had them down in. So we'll see if there's enough business in for it to survive. But trading is good. I think it's going to become the second economy if we go kind of down the system in the rabbit hole, so to speak.
Exactly.
So having a backup plan, don't stop marketing, and give yourself self-care. It's so upsetting and disheartening to listen to a business owner who is working 7 days a week to try to make ends meet. It's not necessary. There are several of you who've taken my advice and have really made a success out of it, and I just love to be on the back end of your coattails and watching you go and fly. I think it's awesome and it gives me goosebumps talking about it. So I at least know I'm on the right path. Definitely.
I did self-care today. Can you see?
I saw you look really cute.
I'm like prepared to like go out and talk to people and be human for a while and not sit in my t-shirt and shorts at home. I'm like, I got gorgeous today. I put makeup on. So that's my self-care for me. It's like putting earrings on and makeup. Huh?
Self-care is good.
Yes.
And you don't have to be totally selfish about it where you have a whole pampered me day. And I'm not saying if you do that all the time that you're selfish. I'm just saying that you've small incremental steps. So having boundaries with your schedule and then doing something for just you. It's really, especially a lot of us are mommies and there's no mommy me time.
You know what my mommy me time was, Shannon?
What?
You're going to laugh. I had a closet and I actually had a bottle of wine in there. And I would say, Mommy's going to timeout. She's been naughty. And I would go to the closet and I would have my little bit of wine. And I would sit in there and then I would set a timer. So if my kids came to the door, I said, you can't come to the door unless the house is on fire. And I said, you have to wait till the timer goes off. So sometimes I would come out and my kids are sitting by the door waiting for the timer to go off.
They're all worried about you.
They're like, Mommy, is your timeout done yet? And I'm like, no. Yep. Drink a little bit more wine.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, now you know a little secret about me.
Totally. Well, we've all been there.
Yes. So I think it'd be good to maybe you and I can get together and create a list of like affordable or thrifty ideas for self-care under, $15 or something, or $20. What do you think?
Okay, we can definitely do that. I know that you got to get going.
Yes, I got to head out.
I can hear them upstairs doing God knows what, so I'll go find out.
Well, this was fun. I enjoy this always.
Definitely. And I'm hoping, because I posted it under the right profile, that'll actually let me download it so I can put it to YouTube. But we'll see if Facebook does its own thing. I couldn't mount the two devices on the thing. It didn't have enough time. So anyway, good luck today. And
Thank you.
I'll talk to you shortly.
Thank you. Bye.